Dr. Nunes. What's important for preparing for school?
Immunizations is one of the most important things to make sure the kids are healthy. There are many vaccines out there, so it's always important that they follow up with their doctor to make sure there's nothing missing. Other things that we want to make sure the kids are doing to make sure that they're healthy and prepare them for school is to make sure that they're getting enough sleep. Depending on the age of the child, it will depend on how much sleep they need. Babies usually need around 11 to 14 hours a day. Children usually need 10, and adolescents around 9 hours per day.
What immunizations do kids need?
Well, there are multiple vaccines, and to try to break it down, tetanus we start from 2, 4, 6 months, and then at 15 months. Then you have the polio vaccine, which is almost at the same schedule. There's a couple of pneumonia vaccines, diarrhea. We give the hepatitis vaccine at birth, and also at 2 months, and then at 6 months. The varicella, and the MMR vaccine, which contains measles, mumps, and rubella. There are so many vaccines integrated in the immunization schedule. It all depends on the age. We start to get boosters at 4 to 6 years, and also from 11 to 13 years of age. We start to give booster vaccines to the immunizations we gave before. The difference is at 11, we start to give two new vaccines, which is the human papillomavirus vaccine. So we want to make sure we get all the kids in on their regular visits so we could give them the appropriate vaccines at the appropriate time.
You can download an immunization chart from here. Where can kids get these immunizations, and how much do they cost?
Basically, any child who needs immunizations can go to their regular doctor, who always has a supply of these vaccines available. If children don't have insurance, they can apply for insurance especially children in New York City. They always have available the insurances like Metro Plus.
What can parents do to ensure kids are eating healthy foods?
One of the main things with children, if they're not easy eaters, is they could take them to the supermarket, go to the vegetable section and fruits, and have the children pick out a certain fruit or vegetable that they can try. It takes around 7 times before a child can decide whether he's going to like that certain food or not. It's always important that people go and sit down and have the meal together. So away from the TV, turn off everything, everybody get together. So it'll increase the time that they take to digest the food, and they'll get fuller quicker. Other things they can do is make sure they may have a meal plan for a week, for example. They could say, okay, this day we're going to have rice, beans, and roasted chicken. And the next day we're going to have fish with steamed vegetables. That way they have a plan throughout the week. They know what they're going to eat. That way when on a busy day, they already have that plan set. Instead of most of the time, if you have a busy day, you just go for the quickest thing, which could be a fast food, could be a microwave food, and that's not what we want.
How can kids get more exercise in their day?
One of the simplest things, because everybody takes a subway, as you know, is that try to get off on the previous train stop to where you're going to go. So that obligates you to walk a certain distance. And, you know, every block in New York City takes around 1.5 minutes to walk. So if you walk around 10 blocks, that's around 15 minutes that you're going to take walking. Another thing is a lot of people live in apartment buildings, which they can walk up the stairs instead of taking the elevator, and that's a good way to get your exercise in. Walking to school for the kids is another good way if they don't live too far. And it's always good to get some type of activity in. I always encourage the kids to make sure they get involved in sports. That's not always possible, so maybe they could do these little things in their everyday life to try to improve.
Do you have a simple way for kids and parents to remember these tips?
So 5210 basically stands for 5 servings of fruits and vegetables per day, and depending on the age of the child, depending on how much a serving is. 2 hours or less of some type of screen time, which includes internet, video games, and TV, usually cartoons with the kids. And then you have 1 hour of exercise per day. Now you could break that down. That's 1 hour, not a continuous exercise, but some type of exercise per day. And then you have 0 candy, juice, or soda, not any sweetened drinks whatsoever.